Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Skill Forum. So in this session I am going to explain some of the basics of an helical gear, and in the previous video also I have explained some of the basics of an helical gear and what are the difference between helical gear and spur gear, and also we have learnt the nomenclatures of an helical gear and also the relations of the particular nomenclatures of an helical gear. So if you have not watched that video, you just click this I button, you will get that video. So and also I have explained the design of spur gear. If you want to watch and if you want to learn about the design of spur gear, you just click the I button, and also you will get that link in the description. You just click this and you will get entire playlist of the design of spur gear. Okay, so in this video I am going to explain some of the forces developed in the helical gear, so that we will learn in this session. Okay, so still if you have not subscribed my channel, do subscribe my channel and also click the bell icon so that you will get my new videos updates. Okay, so let's start. So in this session we will learn what are the forces will be there in the helical gear, right? So to understand what are the forces we will get in an helical gear, so I will draw one helical gear drawing, and also when it comes to an spur gear, we will get two forces, right? So one is the tangential force and another one is radial force. So but when it comes to an helical gear, we will have three forces, right? So I will tell you what are all the three forces and how we need to generate the equation to solve that particular forces, right? So here what I will do, I will draw one helical gear. So I will draw one helical gear. So consider this is an helical gear, right? So this is the helix angle, these are the helical teeths. So to define the forces in an helical gear, I am going to consider one point of contact where all the three forces are going to occur, right? So here for the particular helical gear, we have one that is axis. This is the axis of a shaft, and another one is we have perpendicular axis, right? So this is the perpendicular axis. So perpendicular axis with respect to axis of a shaft, and another one is so these are the three axes. So this is the 3D representation of an helical gear, right? So consider this is a point of contact, so where the three forces are going to occur. So the forces which are parallel to the axis of a shaft, we will call it as a axial force, and the forces towards the horizontal axis, that is, so this is the horizontal axis, this is called tangential force. See, the tangential force produces a torque in the shaft, right? So which tends to rotate that shaft. So next another one is we have, so that is radial force. So this is the radial force, that is Fr. Got it? So this is called a radial force. So what I will do to define the reaction force or normal force, what I will do, so with respect to all these three forces, we will get one cuboid structure. See here, this is the cuboid structure we will get. So this is the cuboid structure. So with respect to this, we are going to find out all the forces, right? So this is the cuboid structure. So from this point, if the force is acting with this is called normal force. So I will just represent that as F, right? So and one more is there, that is, this is also an force, right? So next, so this angle we are going to call it as an helix angle beta, and this angle is nothing but pressure angle. So that is normal pressure angle, right? So what we will get? We will get two triangles. This is A, B and this point is C, and we will get, and this is D. So once we define the cuboid structure, we will get 3 triangles. With respect to these 3 triangles, we are going to determine the equations of reaction force, equations of forces, right? So we have 2 triangles. One is triangle, see here, you just observe A, B, C, triangle A, B, C, and triangle A, C, D, right? A, C, D. So you just observe here. First I am going to consider from triangle A, B, C. So I will draw the triangle, free body diagram here. So you just understand how I am going to considering the forces. So this is the point A. So this is A, B, C, right? So this is point B. This is point C, right? So here, see, consider AC. AC we have this, and then what is this AB? AB is nothing but the normal force. Okay, then BC. BC is nothing but, see here, BC is along the radial direction, that is radial force. Got it? So if you find any doubts, you just comment me in the comment box so that I will solve your doubts also. So here from triangle ABC we will get cos, so this is an angle, so alpha n, right? So cos alpha n, what is cos theta? That is opposite by hypotenuse, right? So what is this? So that is BC by hypotenuse AB, right? What is BC here? So BC is nothing but FR and AB is nothing but F. So we will get an equation, FR is equal to, so what is FR? F cos alpha n, right? So this is the equation of radial force, right? So next, again from triangle ABC we have sin alpha n. What is sin theta? So adjacent by hypotenuse, right? What is adjacent here? That is AC, and hypotenuse is F. So we will get AC is equal to F sin alpha n, right? So these are 2 equations we will get. Again we will solve from triangle ACD. We will draw one free body diagram. So this is the point A, point C, and point D. So this is the helix angle beta, right? So what is this AD? AD we have FT, right? That is tangential force. And what is a CD? CD we have FA, right? FA. Then what is AC? That we need to determine. Okay. So again from triangle this ACD we have cos beta. What is cos beta? That is opposite by hypotenuse. That is, what is opposite here? CD by AC, right? So what we will get? What is CD here? CD is nothing but FA divided by, what is AC? AC already we have here, right? F sin alpha n, that is F sin alpha n. So that we will get axial force, that is FA is equal to F sin alpha n and into cos beta. This is the equation of axial force, right? So next again we will consider here sin beta from triangle ACD. What is this? Adjacent by hypotenuse, right? What is adjacent here? That is AD by AC, right? Adjacent by hypotenuse, that is AC. What is AD here? That is FT. AC we have, right? That is F sin alpha n. So that we will get value FT is equal to F sin alpha n and into sin beta. So these are the 3 equations of 3 forces on helical gear, right? So next we'll just consider this as equation 1 and this as equation 2 and this as equation 3, right. So if you consider these three equations, so still we need to simplify to determine the forces on helical gear, okay. So what we need to do, we have to use divide to equation 2 and equation 1, sorry, equation 2 and equation 3, equation 2 and equation 3, we will get FA by FT is equal to, what is FA? F sin alpha n, F sin alpha n and cos beta divided by F sin alpha n, F sin alpha n and sin beta. So this FF get cancelled and sin get cancelled. So what is this cos by sin? So FA, so FT will come in the right side. So what is cos by sin? That is tan beta. So this is an equation for axial force with respect to helix angle, right. So next we need to divide equation 1 and 3. So 1 and 3. So we will get, what is FR by FT? What is FR? F cos alpha n divided by F sin alpha n and sin beta. So FF get cancelled. What is cos by sin? That is FR is equal to FT into cos by sin is tan alpha n divided by sin beta. So this is the equation for radial force. So you can use either this, so this or this, okay, you will get the same value. So here we are going to consider both pressure angle as well as helix angle, right. So next we need to know the directions of the forces, right. So it is very important to consider the direction of the forces in an helical gear, because we will get three forces. With respect to three forces we need to consider. And one more thing you should have to understand, that to transmit a power from one shaft to another shaft by using gear, so you need two shaft, right. One is a driving shaft, another one is driven shaft. To define the direction of forces we need to consider two shafts. So I will explain you how you need to consider the direction forces and what are the tricks and what are the methods you need to use to define the direction of the forces in an helical gear, right. So we will draw one figure. So this is very important concept, just try to understand it. So what I will do, I will draw two shafts, okay. One is driving shaft. So here for 3D representation I am drawing here. This is the 3D representation. This is an horizontal axis, okay. So here what I will do, so this is one shaft and this is another shaft, right, okay. So here this is a driving shaft. So this is a driving shaft, this is driven shaft. So here one thing you have to understand, to define the forces you need to define the point of contact. See here we have a point of contact. So this is the point of contact of driving shaft and this is the point of contact of driven shaft, right. So here to define all the forces, so three forces, that is one is axial force, radial force as well as tangential force. So as I have explained to you in the spur gear, so the radial force will be always in the inner direction. So this is the inner direction of the gear, right? This is F R, and this will be the F R, radial force on driving shaft as well as driven shaft, right? So next, to define the tangential force, the tangential force is very important in an gear, right? Because that force will produce torque to rotate the shaft, to rotate the gear, right? So here you just understand this. Consider this is a driving shaft and this is a driven shaft. So if the, see here I am going to consider driving shaft rotates in clockwise direction, and this obviously if the driving shaft is rotating in clockwise direction, the driven shaft will also will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. See, I will show you how. See, consider this is the driving shaft and this is a driven shaft. Consider these are the teeth, right? So if it is rotating in clockwise direction, so the driving shaft is tends to move to driven shaft, right? So if it is moving in clockwise, it will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. So like this I have defined it. So here when the driving shaft makes contact with the driven shaft, so the forces produced in the driven shaft will be in this direction. See, in this direction, see, I am going to contact this. So the driven shaft force will be in this direction, so that you have to consider the tangential force should be in this direction, that is Ft. If this is in this direction, if the tangential force of driven shaft is in this direction, obviously the tangential force of driving shaft will be in opposite direction. So this is Ft, right? So this is very important how you have to consider to define the forces in an helical gear, right? So next, to define an axial force, so it is very important. You just try to understand here, axial force, we need to consider the angle of helix, okay? We need to consider angle of inclination in teeth of helical gear. So you just try to understand this. So we need to consider this. See here, consider so if you have two shaft, so this is shaft 1 and this is shaft 2 here. So it is one shaft teeth will be in towards the right side, and one will be obviously in the opposite side, right? So this is the right-handed helical teeth, right-handed helical teeth, okay? And this is towards left, we will call it as a left-handed helical teeth. So this is very important. So to define the to define the axial force in an helical gear, so you just try to understand this. So what I will do, so consider this is a driving shaft, right? So you need to use right hand as well as left hand to define the direction of forces, to define the direction of axial forces. So here I am going to consider this as a driving shaft, right? So here if you want to rotate this shaft by using right hand, so the forefinger direction will be your direction of rotation, the thumb direction will be your axial force direction. If I am rotating this in clockwise direction, okay, towards this forefinger direction, the direction of your thumb will be in right side, right? The direction of axial force will be with respect to your thumb finger. Same way, if I am going to rotate this shaft by holding this shaft from left hand, the direction of rotation will be towards forefinger, right? If I rotate this, the axial force should be in this direction. If I am trying to rotate from left hand itself, so if I try to rotate this in anti-clockwise by using left hand, the direction forces should be in this direction, right? So here, to define the axial force in the driving shaft, so I am going to consider the teeth on driving shaft will be a right-handed helical teeth. Okay, so this I have considered in clockwise direction, right? So to consider that in clockwise direction, I am holding this and I will try to rotate this in clockwise direction. What will be the axial force? Towards right, right? So this is an axial force. Okay, got it? And then if it is in direction, in this direction, this will be in the opposite of that. This is axial force. Okay, so this is how you need to define the axial force by using this method. Okay, so that's all about the forces produced on an helical gear, and this is also a very important concept that you need to understand to solve the numerical problems. Okay, if you have any doubts, you just comment me in the comment box so that I will solve your doubts. So if you like this video, do share this video with your friends so that your friends will get useful with this. Okay, thank you.